Ooh, two. What's poppin'? Man, it's your boy Flo the Barber. You already know why I'm here today. I got a nice little, mid-taper tutorial for y'all. I got a nice little mid-taper tutorial for y'all today. Man, y'all see what I'm doing. I'm just coming in with my fabulous trimmer. Just going in and just making my first guideline. Now I got my no guard open and just going up about an inch with my no guard open. Man, I hope y'all enjoyed my last haircut tutorial though, man. Like last time I had posted a haircut tutorial and I really didn't say too much. I didn't really show personality too much, but for all my other videos I'm trying to get more comfortable and just show personality and just not really focus on just talking about the haircut steps in every video, because clearly you guys can see what I'm doing and pretty much I do the same steps in every video. The only thing different from my tapers and my ball fades, the only difference is with my tapers I like to go ahead and take the lines out instead of coming back and taking the lines out. With my ball fades I like to take the lines out last, but with the tapers we just knock the lines out. So if you see right now I'm going up with my one guard all the way open and I'm just going up about another inch, just going up, and now I'm about to close up my one guard in a minute. See, I closed up my one guard and now I'm just gonna flick at that bottom line just so we can soften it up, and then we'll come back in with our 0.5, and once our 0.5 is on there we'll go ahead and take out that line completely. But I'm jumping everywhere. You guys see that I went in with my two guard. So I guess I ended up cleaning up the bulk. And me personally, man, I honestly like to clean up the bulk and I like to do different steps. So I like, if I clean up the bulk first or if I clean up the bulk last, I'll do different steps. So sometimes I can't even keep up with myself. But when I'm making these haircut videos, I will make sure that I make it like a system where you guys can understand what I'm doing, you know. And throughout the video you could just see where I speed it up on certain parts, because if I just kept showing it the video would be too long. So I did speed up on certain parts. Like right now I'm just gonna speed it up a little bit just so you guys can get to the point. But yeah, that was my 0.5 and all I did was flick it out. Now I got no guard on and I'm just going over that 0.5 and I'm just flicking at that line. And really, if you see how I'm cutting, I'm really using my corners. I'm not really trying to use the whole entire blade, because when you're taking out a line and you use the whole entire blade, all you're gonna do is set it in and it's just gonna make it harder for you to take out a line that you're going. So now with my one guard all the way open, I'm attacking that line that was under that two bulk. We just gonna attack that line. We just flicking out, just trying to make it soft. We don't want to cut too much hair right here because this is the top of the fade. So the top of the fade should always be the darkest. If no one ever told you that, you have 3 levels to a fade. You have dark, mid dark, and shadow. So even the bald line shouldn't, like where you set the bald line, it shouldn't be completely bald at the mid part. It should be bald at the beginning of the line. So if you guys understood what I meant, but yeah, just keep watching these steps. And now I got my no guard open and I'm just using my corners and I'm just really like doing some detail work, because really the back of the head is done. What I like to do now is I really like to just line up the head, like not really completely, but put in like a rough draft line, because eventually I end up going back over it again, and you don't want to go over the spot too much with a clipper, especially a sharp trimmer at that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go over that same spot because you'll tend to make your client get red and you'll cut up your client and everything. So if your clippers are sharp, you really don't want to keep going over that spot. So what I'm just doing right now is I'm just placing that little line just so I can come back in later on and just clean it up and make it complete. So this is just my rough draft line going around the ear area. So yeah, we're just cutting off the hair off of his face. And actually, my camera actually died when I was going to complete this side. So I ended up just completing the other side. I ended up stopped recording, and then I ended up completing the other side. So soon my camera is about to cut off right here, and then we'll switch to the other side because my camera did die. Also, even when I'm doing the tapers, I do like to line up my client first, like I say, a rough draft line. See, I'm not really putting in a crazy line. I'm just putting in like a little rough draft, just so I can see how I want to do this taper, where I want to take the taper to. Because later on, I'll come back in and put the official line in. So right now, my camera is about to shut off and die on me. So I went ahead and just switched over to the other side, and it was already so blurry anyway. So yeah, so now we're on the other side, and all I'm doing is the same steps that I did in the back. I'm just going up with my no guard open and just going up about an inch and just setting that in. Now we closed it up, and now we're just going to use our corners to flick out. If you can see, I'm not really using my right side of the blade. I'm only using my corners. So that's how you can take out those lines. But you have to use your corners if you want to take out the lines. We're just setting in the little rough draft, line up really fast, just so I can keep track of where I'm at in the fade. And if any of you guys can take that as a tip, I promise you, setting in that rough draft, not only it's going to save you a little bit of time, because when you come back over the hairline later on in the video, or just later on in the haircut, when you come back on to the hairline, basically it's already there. So you don't have to put it all the way in. You just have to go over it and just lightly tap it, because like I said, you don't want to go over it too much and then cut your client. So putting in the lineup always helps you out. So yeah, right now we have just set our one guard open, and now we came in with our 0.5, and we're just using our corners and just trying to knock out the bulk and attack that line. If you see, that line is coming out pretty easy, but we're just using our corners only in a flick out motion. Flick out motion, use your corners only. Now we closed it up, still using our corners only. Right here we have our two guard. We have our two guard all the way open, because we just want to debulk the top of the head. Like I said earlier in the video, you don't want to cut too much hair off in the top of the fade, because the top of the fade is like your most important part of the fade. So you don't really want to cut too much hair off. And well, no, top of the fade should be your darkest part of the fade. It's not your most important part, but it should for sure be your darkest part in your fade. So you really don't want to cut too much hair off in the top of the fade. So right now we just knocking down that bulk with that two guard all the way open, and I guess I went ahead and closed it up a little bit, because I guess it wasn't working. So whenever you know it's not working as a barber, like sometimes it's hard to repeat the same steps and like explain the steps. I'm getting used to these haircut tutorials, but when you're doing these steps, you have to make sure you keeping track of what you're doing. And with me, I do these steps every day, so sometimes I'll switch it up and I'll just go off of the flow. Sometimes I get wrapped up in the haircut. So yeah, now we're just doing some detail work. We got our one guard all the way closed, coming in, just doing some detail work, trying to knock out any dark spots in those areas. Detailing is very, very, very important, so don't forget. But we finna cut down the lineup now. We got our one guard all the way open, and we just cut down the lineup a little bit. We don't want to cut it down too much, because the lineup should always match the side top part of the fade. So we just gonna cut down the lineup to like a 1. And I just went back in because I guess I seen some more dark spots that I could have gotten better. And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you gotta look away from the fade just to see something else, because if you keep looking at it, you might start seeing stuff, and then you start getting delusional and just start psyching yourself out. So sometimes it's just best to look away for a few seconds or even for a minute or two, or just do another side of the head, or just do another part of the head, and then come back to it. Because even right now, what I did was I completed this side off camera, but what I did was I came back with my detailing, because once I did the other side of the head, I came back and I just seen little dark spots that I could have just made look better. So over here, I'm just gonna keep detailing. Alright, so after we finish detailing, you guys can see the fade looks super crispy. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish knocking all the rest of this hair off his face. He don't really like to keep his hair, so. Just knocking down his mustache with a 1 open, just a 1 open. So now on the lineup, we just start in the middle of the head. I like to work my way to the right side just a little bit, and then I'll go all the way to the left. And that's just how I like to do it, because I'm able to keep track that way, especially if I'm standing on the left side. If you guys can see, at that point I was standing on the left side, so yeah. And we just doing our best to just make sure we keep his hairline as natural as possible. Don't push his hairline back. And once we come in with the fibers, it's just gonna make everything more crispier. Alright, so now we're applying our enhancements. We got our airbrush. We just going in and we just hitting him, tapping him lightly, just so we can fill in those dark spots. And as you guys can see, those dark spots just fill in pretty easy. And now we just gonna put some holding spray on them just so we can lock the enhancements in. And then we just gonna line them up one more time. Matter of fact, we added a barber pencil this video, so we actually have to add the barber pencil. So we're gonna line him up a little bit, and then we're gonna go ahead and add the barber pencil. As you guys see what I'm doing, I'm really being very careful. Right now I just speed the video up because it was just taking a long time. I was being very careful, just making sure I don't push my client back, and just really being precise. And we're gonna do the same thing to the other side of the head. Just make sure we're taking our time, being careful, making those lines come out really crispy. Look at my client looking at the camera. This is one of my clients that just love to give me problems, and not real problems, but he just love to talk crazy. And he just love to he just right now in the video you guys couldn't hear him, but I promise you he talking some type of crap. But yeah, he's just one of those clients that just love to just talk. He just love to talk. So yeah. Alright, so now we got our pencil, and I don't know if I'm gonna tell you guys what pencil I use, because everyone uses a different pencil. Maybe you guys already know what kind of pencil this is, but I'll let you guys know later on in the video. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know what pencil I use, so I'll have to go and look at the barbershop and see what pencil I use, and I'll let you guys know later on in maybe the next video exactly what pencil I use. But yeah, we're just applying our barber pencil, and we're just gonna go straight over the hairline. Now we lined up the hairline pretty clean, so now we just gotta go over it. On the other side, we're gonna do the same exact thing, just going over with the barber pencil. We're not pressing down too crazy on the skin, but I mean at the same time it doesn't hurt his skin, so it doesn't really matter. But you don't want to set that pencil in too too thick, because setting it in too thick, me personally, I don't like that look, and you just have to go over the hairline multiple times to knock it out. So you don't want to set it in too thick. So now we're gonna take our oil sheen and we're gonna just spray it on his hairline, just so we can knock that pencil out pretty easy. And you guys gonna see the pencils are just gonna come out super easy. Just knock that pencil out. That pencil is nothing, man. Some people really struggle with the pencil too, because like I've seen people like on TikTok, on even on YouTube, really struggle to take the pencil out, and even some barbers leave it in. I guess that's like a thing on the South, but over here in LA, if you leave the pencil in somebody's head, they ain't going for that. So we not leaving no pencil in nobody's head. So that's what we spray our oil sheen, and we just go ahead and knock that pencil out. That's basically the haircut, man. I appreciate you guys for making it to the end of this video. If you guys want to see more haircut tutorials, please drop a like, a comment, and a subscribe. I really truly appreciate the support. That'll go a long way. Thank y'all for watching. It's been your boy Flo the Barber, and I'm out. Deuces.